Hello everyone. Welcome to Go VM Lab, VMware scenario based interview question and answer series. This series of lectures designed for all of those learners who are preparing for VMware L3 or senior level profile interviews. Now in this particular segment, we are going to go and discuss about some of the scenarios very specific to virtual machine management. So with that, let's get started. So let's check it out. What do we have in this question number 1 of our VM management segment? And if you really see that in this particular diagram, this is one of the most simplified diagram. As you could see that we do have a one ESXi host here, and then we do have a VM1, VM2 running on this ESXi host, and this ESXi host having a VMFS data store where this VM will be hosting. So your VM files will be hosted on the underlying VMFS data store. The simplest architecture, what could we see? Now let's look at the VM configuration. So this VM1 is having a memory assigned as 4 GB, CPU assigned as 2 vCPUs, hard drive assigned as 12 GB, and the disk type is thick, which means that this particular virtual machine is having a 4 GB memory assigned with the 2 vCPUs allocation, and the 12 GB hard disk has been configured for that particular virtual machine, and the disk type is thick provisioning. Let's look at the VM2 configuration. The VM2 configuration, as it says that memory assigned as 32 GB, CPU assigned as 8 vCPUs, hard drive assigned as 80 GB, and the disk type is thick provisioning. So that is another virtual machine which is having a higher memory, higher CPUs, but the disk allocation is around 80 GB with the thick provisioning. So that's what pretty much about our virtual machine 1 and virtual machine 2 configuration, which are running on this ESXi host. Now let's look at our ESXi host level configuration. So this ESXi host is having a 64 GB of memory and 64 cores. So these are the pCPU and memory configured on that ESXi host. Now let's look at the underlying VMFS data store. What is the total capacity of this data store? So as you could see that the total capacity of this VMFS data store is 100 GB, and as of now we have 100 GB free space available on this VMFS data store. So now here, as you could see that this data store is having a total capacity of 100 GB, which means that your VMFS data store on this ESXi host has been configured with the 100 GB data store capacity. And as of now, the free space available on this VMFS data store is 100 GB, which means that as of now, these are just a VM configuration. What do you have it? So if you really see that, as of now, these are just a VM configuration, what we have defined it here, but we have not created these VMs yet. So now, first, the very first step, what we will be doing it, we will be creating VM1 and VM2 on this data store, right? So that's how the ask here is that you as a VMware administrator has given the virtual machine specifications that you are supposed to create two virtual machines with the specified configurations on that underlying ESXi host, where that is what your data store capacity is all about it. So first you will be creating a VM and then you have to power on this VM. That's the ask from the VMware administrator in this particular scenario. So now let's try to see that what is the question mentioned here. The question says that in a given scenario, what will happen when you try to power on VM1 and VM2? So after VM creation, you will be powering on VM1 and VM2, and then you have to tell what will happen when you try to power on both of these VMs simultaneously. Will the power operation succeed? If yes, then explain it.
If you have interest in learning VMware more in depth, not from an administration perspective, but from the architect or consulting perspective, then join our VMware vSphere Zero to Hero Data Center Expert program. This particular program has been highly rated by all of our learners. 100 plus careers have been transitioned successfully with our Zero to Hero Data Center Expert Deep Dive program with the 100% placement record. Now, what are the key highlights of this program? As you could see that it's India's first job-ready VMware learning program, which has a 70 hours of intense learning with the 80 plus hands-on labs. 40 plus scenarios would be presented to a learner as a challenge questions to assess their learning. We do have a mentors having a 15 years of experience and the certified professionals. You would be getting opportunity to have a one-on-one in-person doubt clarification session with the VMware mentor, and this particular zero to hero program will also preparing learners for a L3 or senior level profiles. Now we have transitioned many careers with our deep dive program, and you can see some of the feedbacks right here on your screen. These are the feedbacks what we have received from all of our successful learners who has transitioned their career with us. So what are you waiting for? If you want to become VMware expert or want to master this technology, then call us now today on the given number, or maybe drop us email on the provided email address. Thank you.